Welcome guys, in this video we're going to start focusing on basic object-oriented programming concepts. So first of all, why object-oriented programming? Because the world is made of objects, okay? An essential feature of that is classes. So crank up Visual Studio and start typing. Using system. Now first you're going to specify namespace. Now remember, a namespace is a grouping of related functionality, but it's also used for addressing information, okay? And later we'll talk about fully qualified names, but for now, let's create a namespace, give it some name, so console application here 542 for example, that it matters much, there you go. And now we're going to type class, that's a keyword because it's blue, then the name of the class is specified next, okay, and it's customary to capitalize that first letter of the class, so that it looks like that, okay. Alright, so now we have to define the body of the class. So open close brace as follows. Okay. And now an essential component could be the constructor. This is the code that runs when an object or an instance of the class is made. Okay, a class is a template. And then from the template you make objects or instances of the class. There you go. So the constructor will be typed as follows: public calculator. This is the constructor, and now you can say console.writeLine and a calculator is being made. Goes out a semicolon, simple enough. This is the. And now to make use of this calculator class, we're going to create a new class. So class, okay, use calculator. That will be the name of it. Like that. And within here we need an entry point into the whole program. So to do that you are going to type for static void main. Like that. And now we're going to learn how to instantiate the class. So you're going to type calculator. Like that. And then calc, and then close out the semicolon, then you will take calc and set it equal to a new calculator. Okay, so notice that now we have a new data type called a calculator, and then on the line below we instantiate a reserved memory for a new calculator. See? Now in our case that's all it will do, and you can just put console.readLine here if you want, or read key, whatever you want to do. It's up to you. For our purposes, not important. Okay, so that looks like this. Give it a build. So we have a namespace. Within the namespace we have two classes. Class here is calculated, the name of it. This here is the constructor, the code that runs when we make an object of the class. And then here in the class that uses it, we declare a data type of type calculator. That's what this is saying. And then in the line below we use the new keyword. As you see, it's blue. Okay, to make a new calculator. So let's go through this debug again, step into. There you go. Remember, the overall motivation is the world is made of objects, right? Of classes, of categories. There you go. So new calculator. That brings you up to the constructor code. Right, the constructor code runs. Now you come back here, and notice at this point, if you look here, right, this left side still is null. Okay, this is a user-defined data type calculator, and so as you can see, it goes by reference. That's what the null indicates, essentially, that it's a reference type. And right now, the left side and the right side are not connected just yet. At this point they are connected. So now as you can see, value console application 542 dot calculator. This here, console application 542 dot calculator, is the fully qualified name. Okay, these names are constructed in such a way that you lead them from left to right, obviously, and what's on the left is what's the parent scope. Okay, and then a child scope. So for example, you see how the namespace here contains both of the classes. Okay, so you can think of the namespace as like the parent scope, and then the class as the child scope. There you go. So now it's going back into this. Now it says a calculator is being made. Now we can shut this down. That's all it does for our purposes. That looks like this. If you go debug and start without debugging, and that's it, right? So there you go. All right, and notice that here, this constructor code, one more time, this is important, debug and step into, that does load onto the call stack over here. You see the call stack, it tells you what's loaded into memory currently. So right now, at first, you see the entry point is main, and then, as you can see, the constructor calculator is loaded. Then once you finish it, it's popped off the call stack. Okay, so make sure you're aware of the call stack and the purpose of it. That's an important thing. Alright, and that is it for this video. So thanks very much. Your assignment is look around you and think of 4 different classes, design them and implement them in code. Make sure you define a constructor for each class, and we'll take it from there. So thanks very much, and I'll see you in another video.